It's another edition of Green Footprints on Green Growth TV. I am Divine Alex. On this episode, we will explore the devastating floods that recently hit Kentucky in the U.S., leaving destruction in their wake. What can Africa, especially Nigeria, learn from this disaster? How can we better prepare for our own rainy season and reduce the risk caused by poor urban planning, deforestation, and climate change? Stay with us as we unpack the connections between sustainability, green initiatives, and flood resilience. In recent years, human activities have unintentionally contributed to severe environmental challenges, including deforestation, poor waste management, and inadequate urban planning, all of which exacerbate climate-related disasters such as flooding. The recent catastrophic floods in Kentucky, USA serve as a stark reminder of the consequences of unknowingly neglecting sustainable practices. This recent flood in Kentucky, USA highlighted the devastating impact of extreme weather events as it resulted in loss of lives and widespread destruction. Experts link the increasing frequency and severity of such disasters to unsustainable environmental practices, including poor urban planning, deforestation, and inadequate waste management. Similar challenges persist in Nigeria and across Africa, where recurring floods continue to displace communities and damage infrastructure. According to the Africa Center for Strategic Studies, the floods that hit Nigeria, Cameroon, Niger, and Chad in 2024 are being compared to the historic floods of 2022. Rainfall levels in these countries were 20% higher than the average, with Chad experiencing its heaviest rainfall in 30 years. These figures underscore the urgent need for climate adaptation strategies and sustainable urban planning across the continent. Environmental expert, urban planning specialist, and lecturer in Nigeria, Dr. Akamwa Angela, speaking on Green Footprints, stressed the urgent need for sustainable solutions to mitigate flood risk. She highlighted the importance of enforcing urban planning regulations, investing in proper drainage systems, and promoting afforestation as key measures in building climate resilience.
Like in the recent flooding in Kentucky, you see that this is a highly developed environment, and yet we see the level of disaster that the floods were able to cause in that place. And also you could see that the level of the quick arrest of the situation, preparations and plans that were put into place. We have environmental bodies that are into weather predictions and warnings, and oftentimes, for example, in Nigeria, we have NEMA and the rest of them. They've been able to warn and send predictions, but most times these warnings have not really gotten to the affected populations of vulnerable people. So if these warnings and predictions can get to even the most illiterate person, if there's a way this information can be simplified so that even someone who is not educated can get the information. So it helps them to prepare, because the worst hit people are those cities or communities, along the coastline. These things have been recurring over time, so we're not new to it. So there should be a plan in order to see how these things can be done. For example, for those cities or communities along the river area, they could build a form of protection. They could build walls or leaves or things to protect. This will help reduce the impact of the flood. At times it's the overflow of the rivers, so it brings a form of protection. So this emergency plan helps to reduce the impact of it. And in this preparation, a lot of finance and human resources are channeled to these places. We know where these things occur. So we could channel finance, we could channel all these things to those people, because they are the worst hit when it has to do with flood. So early warnings and predictions are very important. And this will help people to begin to evacuate from those places and go to higher grounds, their properties or personal things they can, keep away from the destruction of the flood, they'll begin to do it early. If there are elderly people.
To gauge public opinion, a street survey asked citizens in Nigeria if they think our cities are prepared for flooding as rainy season is coming, and what would they change to prevent the usual disasters. This is what they had to say.
I don't think Nigeria is ready for this upcoming rainy season because most states in Nigeria, flood is the most things we are battling with, especially local job during rainy season, like flood destroying most houses and all that. And Nigeria is not doing nothing about it. I don't think Nigeria is ready for this upcoming.
And now, Nigeria they talk about this changing of weather of rainy season. They talk. Sometimes I only talk, no work. I only talk. For if the people carry action to prepare the place, so no problem. No problem.
These responses reflected concerns about poor drainage, inadequate government intervention, and the role of individuals in maintaining a cleaner environment. And in the streets of Liberia, the people have other interesting things to note come raining season.
Liberia is not prepared for rainy season, and the reason why is because we believe that at the stage of rainy season, so we as a citizen, as a country, we try to put mechanisms in place in order to get rid of some damage that will cause our country. Liberia is not prepared because we are not actually prepared for the rainy season coming. So we experienced it last year, and even we are putting mechanisms in place, and we are still learning about what happened last year, and there is no criteria, there is no things that have been put into place in order to help Liberia to prevent them from any damage that will take place. So the issue of flood in our country, I think we brought a lot of damage to our homes, to our living place, and most of the flood take place in the community, the swampy area, and it is not good at all. So the government observed this thing last year, and they say that more homes got damaged from flood because they build their houses in the way, or they build their houses in the swamp. So where water to the party to start to build their houses, so the water from the enter the house. So the best recommendation that I have for the government is to work in that direction. All the houses that is in the river side, so where the water can flow, they should get rid of it, fill it with dirt, and create a pathway that the water will move smoothly.
Honestly, I think that Liberia is not prepared for this coming rainy season because the past rainy season we experienced a lot of flood, especially in the urban area. Because I live in the urban area, I don't know about the rural side, but here we experienced flood. The drainage, the water was all on the road. People had problem crossing, especially with their cars or bike. People had to walk in the water to cross. To me, my recommendation to the government, I recommend that they should do a community engagement. Talk to the community dwellers. They carry on a campaign to clean the drainage and also to the waste management. Also, they can help to reduce the waste.
The flooding. When the water comes, the water is coming to meet the area truck. The area stuck with dirt, and the water will have no alternative. It will start to flow all over the place, and there is a time we're going to experience flooding all over. Other countries are doing it now, so we must be able to do it as Liberians, because this thing, it affects all over the people, all over the place in the community. But for you, the citizen, you should be able to at least be abreast with, some of the preventive measure in order to save your very self from sicknesses and what have you. I think when that happens, it will be very good on the government's part and on the part of the Liberian people.
Government officials must prioritize climate resilience policies by enforcing urban planning laws, improving drainage infrastructure, and implementing sustainable environmental practices. Strengthening disaster preparedness will be key to minimizing future flood risk. As an individual, we have a crucial role to play by adopting responsible waste disposal habits, participating in tree planting initiatives, and holding leaders accountable for environmental policies. Simple actions such as keeping drainage systems clear and reducing plastic waste can collectively make a significant impact. As floods continue to pose a growing threat globally, the time for proactive and sustainable action is now. As we have seen today, the increasing frequency of floods, whether in the US, Africa, signals an urgent need for better environmental practices and stronger sustainability efforts. The choices we make today, from urban planning to waste management, will determine how well we can withstand future climate challenges. It's time for individuals, communities, and governments to step up. Join us next time on Green Footprints as we continue to explore real solutions for a more sustainable and resilient world. Until then, I am Divine Alex, and remember, every footprint counts.